Scratch that. Welcome to another exciting season of Wine Down with Kev. This is the season where we are talking about my favorite subject, AI. We make AI easy. And today we're going to jump off to a wonderful start with a wonderful guest. But before I get there, let me thank our new sponsor, B File Systems. Shout out to B File Systems. BFILE systems. So if you're looking for a system that not only helps with your retention, but your new business as well, offline after the podcast, check out bfilesystems.com. But welcome back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of you that have already hit that subscribe and notification button. Yeah, both of you. I appreciate both of y'all. But the other 2 to 3 of you that are watching this content that you haven't subscribed and notify, I got you now. I got you today. Today, I'm bringing on the number one influencer, the number one YouTuber, the man behind the best insurance influencer in the game, in our industry, in our company, hands down. Don't argue with me. I'm out here competing today, but there's one person that's the champion and one person that's in the conference finals. The person I'm bringing up is the man behind that. He is an amazing human being first. Secondly, he's an incredible person, content creator. He's funny as HE double hockey stick. He's funny for real, but he's serious in his commitment to creating content. Ladies and gentlemen, put your warm Wine Down with Kev hands together. Show some love in the comments as I bring up Mr. Randall Denson on YouTube at All That in Denson. Let's go.
Thank
Randall,
you,
we jumping right into it. Before we get into all the content magic, give us the Randall Denson origin story in 60 seconds. Where you from? What was life like growing up? And was there a moment where you knew creativity was going to be your superpower?
Okay, well, thank you for having me on. Um, I am a West Coast kid, born in LA, grew up in Vegas, and I've always my parents always had me in art school. I was an art major in high school and in college. My dad passed away in high school, which kind of pivoted me to focus on football because it was like a way for me to hold on to him. So I'm a failed athlete. And as soon as the athlete door closed, I realized I needed to tap into my God-given artistic abilities. So I created my own art business. And in the process, I started to get better at graphic design, learning all types of different mediums. And that was where I first started to do content creation, was trying to build my own brand because word of mouth and referral was everything for me building that art business. But I put a financial strain on my family by becoming an entrepreneur because I quit my job. I put most of that financial responsibility on my wife, and I wasn't profiting the way I thought I would. So I needed to return back to the corporate world. And while I was in the corporate world, I was climbing that corporate ladder, doing what I needed to do to provide for my family. But I didn't feel that I was fulfilled. And around that time when I was feeling that way, my best friend Nick approached me with an opportunity to become his creative director. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to ruin our friendship. And then I get home and then my wife said, did you see Nick is looking for a social media manager? And I was like, oh my God, it's coming from both angles. What do I do? But I believe I believe God don't play games with coincidences. So the fact that it came from my best friend and my wife, I thought it was something that I needed to entertain. And to fast forward to now, it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. Not only am I able to help him build his brand, but in the same process, it has allowed me the opportunity to build mine. And I'm on a great journey. Just hit 100K followers on Instagram, 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I am really stepping into this consultant role, teaching other people. We also have a community. We teach a lot of insurance agents around the country how to utilize their brands to become their own lead source. And I also have my own community where I'm teaching people how to embody their uniqueness within their content creation so that they can open up and create opportunities just like I did for myself.
Wow, that's an incredible opening. You definitely connect to the audience. So let's dig further into your creative background. You gave me a lot of juice there, but I'm gonna try to stick to the script. You studied art, you worked in art galleries, and built a fine art business. A lot
Mhm.
of people would see insurance content as the last place an artist would land. How did a creative soul end up in the world of PNC insurance, and what made you stay?
Well, it's my best friend, man. This was his lane, and even before working with him, as he was building his personal brand, he would come to me and hire me for some side projects. I was doing a lot of his YouTube thumbnails before jumping into this industry, so I started to see a lot of these, these big heavy hitters in insurance come up on his YouTube channel, but I never thought I'd be meeting them in the coming future. But now that I'm in the insurance space, I understand that not everybody nope, not everybody really embodies what they can do with this space, and they think that everything has to be buttoned up, and that it's something that everybody needs. But what we like to teach is that uh, with what insurance is, because it's not sexy, you just have to be top of mind. And that's what I kind of love being here. Yes, it's PNC. I don't know the whole insurance game down pack, but how Nick brought me on, it's really showed me how I can be effective in helping generate business.
I love it. I love it. You describe your vision as creating inspiration through imagination. How does that artist mindset show up in the way you approach content for insurance agency, an industry that most people, I hate to say it, but some people think this is boring. But talk to me, how does that artist mindset show up in this business?
Yeah, it's the creativity, the being different. With art, being with an artist, there's a book called Steal Like an Artist, and I believe
Oh,
everybody should probably look that up on Amazon and read it. It's a quick read, but it'll give you an insight on how artists grab their inspiration. And if you pay attention, there's so many different, like what classic song was back in the 80s that you've already heard three different samples from it on current music now, or you've seen certain shows that were back in the 60s or 70s that are now being recreated again now. So it's like everything kind of recycles. So what we like to say is copy and taste. And with everything that's going on in the world, that's what we use our artistic and creativity to use. What is to make insurance a little bit more fun. So we find what we see in the world, we take inspirations from other things, and we just bring it into insurance.
I love that you just say copy and paste, you say copy and taste.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, let's talk about my guy Nick Saka. Nick Saka, hands down, my mind. I don't need nobody to vote. I don't need you to I don't need you to comment below behind what I'm going to say. He is the number one insurance influencer on YouTube, by my opinion. But most people only see the finished product. They don't see who's behind the camera. Walk us through how you and Nick connected and what your role in building that channel actually looks like day to day.
So with us, me and Nick, we both have creative minds, and I think that's what makes us a great team. He's got his own type of creativity, and I've got mine, but together it's like a puzzle piece. It fills in the gaps. And with his brand, I help manage his channels. I help figure out certain titles for certain things. I help figure out the captions for videos. But the idea of the insurance videos are mainly from him. Like that's his source. Like I support the ideas that he brings to me, and then that's where we kind of chop it up and see how we can make it better. But my responsibility is mainly the like the thumbnail and the search engine optimization, which is SEO. How to help get more eyes on the video. But together, I mean, I do a lot of the background stuff. We like with the content. Um, it's both. I would say it's like 50-50. Sometimes it's his ideas, sometimes it's mine. Probably 90% of the insurance ideas are his, but the brand awareness content, that's where it's like more of the 50-50. But I try my best to assist him in everything that I can.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, Nick's channel has helped him grow to a $20 million plus agency. In your view, what are the two or three things that actually made his content different from the thousands of other insurance agent who tried social media and gave up? What separates Nick from the pack?
Well, one is the consistency. I know that a lot of people they struggle with the consistency, and Nick has been consistent since he started this insurance journey as a whole, and I think that plays a big part in the fruits of his success. What he's done pretty well over the last few years is highlight other agents and highlight other professionals in other industries, which allows him to connect with people, and and allows him to get his name out there. Whenever you collab with people, just like how we're doing right now, when you created the post for me, I shared it on my story. So it's given an opportunity for my audience to be introduced to you. So doing those podcasts, I think that's the same thing it does. Like when he had you on his podcast, it's the opportunity for both of your audiences to sit in the same setting to learn about Nick and for his audience to learn about you. So I think with having a podcast, I think that accelerated a lot of his success on YouTube, and also a lot of the starting videos that he did was educating people in the position that he once was, helping producers become licensed producers, what the license process was like, or certain agents, how to get started, how to build a winning culture. These type of videos that he put out there, it's that serving content. It's what we would call the top of funnel content, where you're giving content for people so that it's your way of giving back. It's your experience. It's your value. And I think with that, on top of the fun and funny content that we create, it's built him, a great YouTube channel.
I love it. One more Nick question, and I'm gonna pivot. Before I get to question, I just remember Nick's earliest videos was so direct. It was about exactly how much you can earn, the money. And none of us that have been in the business ever said, this is how you get to 35,000, not $3 million, 35,000, a real relatable salary, and then how he left the bank and how you go to 50,000. And that was so authentic. I knew that it had knocked all of us veterans off the curb because it was like, bam, here's the industry secret. And it was out there, and we've all grown with him. Last Nick question, then I'm coming back to you. You've been part of his world long enough to see the evolution. What does Nick do off camera that most agents completely underestimate when they try to copy his formula?
I mean, he studies. He studies marketing. He studies social media. He's invested in a good amount of mentorship that assist in uh, the structure of his agency. And I think that's something that I admire about him. And I'm on my path to find mentorship for my path too. But I think that plays a big credit to what he does. He invests in his self development. He invests in the growth of this agency, and he's always trying to think of ways where he can not only push his brand and push the agency, but make his team better. And
Yes.
that's something I really think sets him apart from not just agents but business owners working for different agency or different businesses and different companies. It's a leadership I respect, and it's not just because he's my best friend, but um, it's something that I see that he cares, and when you care, it goes a long way.
I love it. I love it. All right, enough Nick. Let's talk about the All That and Denson brand.
Yes,
You
sir.
built your own platform at All That and Denson. And I'm enunciating my TH on purpose. I want you to follow. I'm not going to say all that. All That and Denson. Follow that on YouTube while also being the force behind someone else's. That's a very different muscle. What's the difference between producing content for Nick versus building your brand, and which one challenges you more?
That's a good question. They both challenge me differently. It is harder to build. I think the benefit of building Nick's brand is growing up with him, because I know
Mhm,
him. I know what ticks.
mhm.
And he was recently just mentioned speaking about this on a podcast, about this being a benefit is if you have somebody in your corner that's helping you with your brand. and they know you, that you just have a slight advantage. So I know when he's not coming off authentic, and I'm going to call him out on it. I know when he's when he can, just when where his energy is off, or where his energy is best. And because we have that respect level, and that that line of communication that's strong, I think it amplifies his content. um I forgot the question you had asked though. I got
So that's Nick. But how's that? What's harder? We got
okay.
what you do with Nick, but let's talk about how you, while building his brand, you started working on the All That and Denson brand. Which one challenges you more? So you talked
Yeah.
about Nick. Talk about your brand. Talk about building the All That and Denson brand.
So for me, the challenging part right now is the funny content is easy. The funny content is that's just me being myself, and I think that's what's cool, that I've been able to grow and expand my brand by being myself. The challenging part now is transferring over into education about content without losing or disconnecting from the audience that I built. So I'm learning right now how to craft content that mixes the two, educating in a humorous way so that I can still be myself. So that's been kind of the challenging part. On top of, like, during the day, here is where it's focused more on Nick's brand, to where it's like 5 to 9. That's where I focus on mine. So I do get an opportunity while I'm here. I can create content for myself. That's the luxury of being able to work here. But it's not an all day thing. It's like a 5 to 10 minute thing, where maybe on my lunch breaks I can take advantage of that. But I think that's probably the most challenging part right now. Is just still establishing the, what most entrepreneurs would probably call it, is building on the business instead of working in the business. That's where I'm struggling with right now.
I love it, man. Your candor is incredible. Your candor, the realness of your delivery. You're not just saying it. I see you speaking from the heart. Your Instagram bio says, helping creators turn views into value. What does that actually mean in practical terms? And when does a view become value? And where do most creators miss that transition? Views to value. Let's talk about it.
So with me, I believe everybody's got value within them, but people underestimate what, sometimes they don't think what they have within is special enough, because there's, with Instagram and social media, that comparison, man, it's heavy. We scroll,
Yeah.
we see everybody flashy and doing all types of stuff, and sometimes we underestimate our skills, our gifts, and the things within that other people would call or consider valuable. So with me, I like to help people find that value within. And Rory Vaden, he mentioned this quote from one of his mentors, and it's find your uniqueness and exploit it in the service of others. So when I heard that quote, I'm like, man, like, that is gold. When you
Yeah.
can figure out what value you have and
Yes.
use it to serve others, you can open up this lane of opportunities. And that's what I've done for myself. As small as simple as it might be, humor is what I consider my value. With as crazy as this world is today, I like to make people smile. So all the
Yes.
negativity, they're gonna scroll and see their algorithm. As soon as they come to mind, I'm gonna try and snap them out of it for a little bit, give them some laugh, give them some joy before they return to it. But with views to value, views aren't everything anymore. I would consider views should just be the opportunity. Views is
Okay.
the handshake. Views are the your first introduction. But those views can turn into opportunities. So
Yes.
with my content, it doesn't matter, like with today's algorithm, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It comes down to the quality of the content. You can have 40 followers and create a reel that does 4 million views based on the quality of that content, meaning if it is relatable, is if it's shareable, if it's engaging, controversial, whatever it is. To say all of that, I just say, with the views, I'm trying to teach people that when they create content, they can create content and it can become something that can become the vehicle for their opportunities.
I'm a deviate from the script because the stuff you've created that cracks me up. You and Nick play on the third rail of content.
Oh
The,
yeah.
the three rails I'm talking about is a couple of things I've avoided in all my time on social media: politics, religion, and race being the third rail. You and Nick are dancing on the race card of social media, and I'm thinking about blackfish, whitefish. That's one that cracked me up, and I liked how you turned. Tell the story of blackfish, whitefish, what you and Nick did, and tell me how you took a negative comment and turned it into a viral video. I have to do that. I got to get off the script because that just killed me. I love that.
Well, cool. That video, that's the game changer for me for sure, for both of us. But there was some creators called Woody and Kleinley. This goes back to the copy and taste. They had a video where they were doing the same concept, and it's two white dudes, and they had these coat hangers, and one was nibbling on it, or both were nibbling on the hangers, and then one got taken away, and the other one just saw him get taken away. He stopped for a second, and then he went back to nibbling, and then he got taken away. And then I told Nick, I was like, this is the first version of blackfish, whitefish. I was like, just like in the horror movies, like if black people see somebody get killed, we out of there. We're not gonna sit there just watch. We're gonna find out who's knocking behind the door. We running. So the first version, we copied that same thing. We're both nibbling. I see him get taken, and then I just swim away. And through that video, we had a whole bunch of people saying some stuff. And, they were saying some racial stuff. Some of them were trying to get under us. But then somebody said something that I think they were trying to be mean, but I thought it was genius. And they said, well, if it was a piece of chicken on the end of that hook, that blackfish would not have swam away. And I said, damn it, you right. so so what I did, I told Nick that. He was like, oh my God. He started laughing. Usually whenever we share ideas and we hysterically laugh, we feel like we might have something special. And that's exactly what happened with that one. So we recreated Blackfish versus Whitefish. We did part two. And instead of both of us nibbling, he was nibbling on it, just a normal hanger. And I swam in, told him, like, don't do that. It's not safe. And he shooed me off. Then he got snatched up. And I was like, all right, whatever. I started to swim away. And then just a piece of chicken on a hook came down. And I just turned around with Spider-Man senses and swam towards it. And then that's how it ended. But that one blew up on every single platform. And that's the one that changed the game for us.
What's the numbers? What kind of views on the first one? What kind of views on the second one?
So part one got 11 million views on Instagram, but part two got 80 million views. And I've posted a couple of times. The first time it got 80 million views on Instagram. Second time got 22 million. Third time got 29. And then the fourth time it got 7. And on TikTok, it got 3 million. On YouTube, this is the one that gave me those 40,000 subscribers. It gave me 40,000 subscribers along with 45 million views. So that video alone has changed the whole landscape for everything.
One viral video of meanness turned to humor because you processed it and then blew up. So if everybody is tuned in today, that's the only one I'm bringing up. At all that in Denson, it is hilarious. I had to get off script. All right, let's go. Let's go forward. Let's come back into the game. We talked a lot about Nick, but let's talk about coaching other insurance spaces. My space here at Wine Down with Kev. My audience is insurance agents, small business owners. My community is right here, Long Island, New York, downstate New York City, but broad worldwide because of the podcast. So you and Nick are now coaching insurance agents on social media. What's the number one mistake you see agents make when they first try to build a presence? And why is it so hard to break?
I would say it is. This is because this is still a deep, like it's so many different things to be honest. But to narrow it down to one, I would think it is batch creating, meaning prioritizing the time to get better. Because everybody, including myself, we all have cringe mountain, which means
Yes.
you're gonna start off ugly on here. It's just like the dreadlock phase. I never elevated and graduated to the dreadlock phase because I couldn't get over the cringe fro. And people with dreads know exactly what I'm. People with hair know what I'm talking about.
My
But
son right now has long dreads. I remember that phase before the dreads came in. I'm good with it.
you gotta, it's an ugly phase, but you have to go through it in order to get the locks. But I don't think that insurance agents are busy. They might not have the same help, and insurance agents are all in different processes. Some of them have, big teams. Some of them might only have a couple of staff members. Some of them might still be by themselves. And because of the time that is consumed with building a successful agency, content and marketing sometimes fall to the wayside. And
Yes.
if you would just prioritize a few hours on, block out a certain part of your schedule, whatever would be
Mhm.
the most beneficial. I would recommend in the morning, because that's when like your juices are flowing. Like if you can do it
Mhm.
before the day beats you up, that's where
Mhm.
you can probably get most of the best energy for some good content. But they're not prioritizing at least 3 hours to create the bricks for their personal brand, because your personal
Nice.
brand is more than just generating leads. A lot of them come into this just looking for the money part. And I get it.
Right.
Like I
Mhm.
totally get it. It's so much bigger than that though.
Right.
And in order to get to the money, you have to build a building. And the building starts
Yes.
with a foundation. And then it goes, to the next level. Then you got, the frame. Then you got the drywall. You got all these things that go into building a building, and its contents the same way. So people, maybe most insurance agents, they come in here thinking that all they got to do is post a couple of pieces of content and people are going to see them, and that's not the case. So I think some insurance agents might just have this false narrative on what it takes to build a personal brand, but to also build uh or become their own lead source. And it's literally showing up daily online. And to kind of go back to, that 80 million view reel, that wasn't our first video. It wasn't my first video, and it's to pay tribute to that. We are constantly swinging away. Like that 80 million views doesn't show how many of the views that we got where it's just 200 views, where it's just
Right.
1,000 views, zero comments. Where we're hitting, we're constantly swinging the bat, and then we happen to hit a grand slam. But
Right.
that comes with repetition. That comes with practice, finding what works, finding what your audience uh, is receptive to, and finding what works, generating business. We've found certain things that have worked. So when you find something that works, you got to double down on it. But all of that comes back to prioritizing your content.
I love it. That is beyond a fantastic answer. And the root of the question was agents, but it applies to anybody and everybody that's trying to get anything else off the ground. You got to be consistent. Consistent discipline will outperform motivation and inspiration any day of the week. All right.
Yep.
We both know that showing up consistently is the hardest part. How do you coach agents through the mental battle of posting when nobody's watching it? Randu, I heard you. I put a video up yesterday. It was me like this. I was smiling. Nobody liked it, especially when they have a full book of business to manage. How do you post them through? Man, I put one up yesterday. Nobody said nothing. How do you post them through that first failure? Because it's not pretty in the beginning.
That's what I tell them is like, yeah, the first couple likes are just gonna be your mom and your best friend. Those are probably gonna be the first couple likes. Um, but then for one, you got to give yourself grace. You're just starting, and then two, you got to be realistic. And that's like when you look at your video as a viewer, what do you see?
Mhm.
Is it all about you, or are you giving back? What is the purpose of your piece of content? Because people are concerned with themselves. So if I'm
Yes.
scrolling and the first 3 seconds of the video are the most vital parts of a video. If I'm scrolling and I come up on yours and you're just standing there for 3 seconds before you say something, and then the first thing you say is, "Hey guys, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday. This is your favorite insurance agent out of South Florida." I'm gone. Like I'm out of there. So I tell them like, yeah, get those out first. Like, yeah, it's okay. Just show up, because the repetition of posting is harder than crafting it. Getting into the app and typing stuff up and doing the work of it. That's the part you got to get used to before that creativity kind of flows in. For some people it's the other way around. But for most, it's getting in front of that camera, like you said, and being awkward and talking to it. And nobody else is in the room. So you're just speaking to a little black dot on your phone. It's like it's
Yes.
awkward, but you have to get through that. And that comes with repetition. So the first few videos, I tell them just put stuff out, because that's what you're practicing. You're going to the gym and you're just taking laps before you lift
Mhm.
weights.
Yes.
Now that you've taken some laps and you're ready to lift weights, okay, well now we're gonna work on this hook. We're gonna work on you stop starting your videos telling everybody hi and introducing yourself, because one, they don't care until they figure out what's in it for them, and two, they're not going to listen until they know what's in it for them. So
Right.
you have to
Right.
start hot. And if they really
Right.
want to know you, your name is at the bottom. They can tap that, figure out your bio, read your bio, find out everything about you. So don't even worry about introducing yourself. Hop right into it. Don't waste any time and give them something to watch. And then we work on the framing. We work on where you should put your camera, how far you should be. Like with this podcast right now with me and you, this would be a terrible podcast. Like,
Got it.
this is how people are doing their content. Hey guys, welcome. I just wanted to hop on here. Like, no, what's the proper angles? Where should the mic be? Do you have a mic? Do you have lighting? Because if I'm black and I'm on this podcast with you right now, that's an ugly setup. So it's a whole different. But but most agents, they worry about all of that at first, and that's why I say it's get in front of the camera first before you
Right.
worry about everything else.
I I love it. So, black people, he just gave you a special jewel. What would you say for our fellow American? I can't let you give one with tip without the other. What's the advice you would give? I can't let you stop right there. We got to keep going. We got to give balance.
Yeah, y'all might be bright enough. Y'all might not need no lighting. Y'all just show up on camera. Y'all are reflective.
Oh my goodness! All right, let's come to the content, man. This is hilarious. So let me come forward. I love what we've talked about already, but let's get into my favorite subject. Let's talk about AI and the future of content. My whole theme this season is we make AI easy.
Let's go.
I got to hit the button. We make AI easy. All right. That was easy. All right. That's my button customized. My voice. Thank you, 11 Labs. You've been in conversations about AI going back to early Chat GPT days. Now that AI can write scripts, generate videos, clone voices, thank you, 11 Labs. What's your take on where a human content creator still wins?
I think it's content like this, like what we're doing right now. AI cannot replicate yet, and I don't know if it will be able to replicate it in this soulful way, because spirits are
Mhm,
still strong. And
mhm.
as much as AI is out, I truly believe that people are going to still want to connect with people. They're going to want to hear with people, and it's also still a trust recession, meaning people still don't know what to trust. So although people who may be afraid to get in front of the camera and that's their outlet right now, or their back door to try to get in front of things, which is cool if that's that way you got to start, is creating your own clone and having your clone do the work. But people will figure that out. And at the end of the day, people are still gonna like. I'm still one of those people when I call a business and it's hey, what press one. I'm zero, pushing zero. Give me
Yeah,
something. I need to talk to somebody. I don't waste your time with this machine and you giving me some generic answers. I need somebody that's gonna give me something straight up. So
right.
I'm probably, I don't know what percentage of people are still like me, but I just have this feeling that yes, the AI is gonna rise. Yes, it's gonna replace certain positions. Overall, I think the people who are using AI are just gonna have the advantage over the people who aren't. But I can't really tell you, what jobs might be gone or anything like that. But I just feel like authenticity is still going to be king uh, within this next decade of AI rise.
I love it. I love it. I'm in the same place as you. I'm a big AI advocate, but there's a place for the human in the loop. So throw it out there. Where is AI showing up for you now? What are your go-to apps? What are you using? What are you having the most fun with right now?
ChatGPT was my first coach, my first partner, and lately I've been using a lot of Claude, and I've
Yeah,
learned that ChatGPT is like your mom. They're
yeah,
not gonna let you down. They're not gonna hurt your feelings. They're gonna just agree with everything you say and think is good. It's like, what you think about this drawing, mom? Oh yeah, it's great, son. Put it on the fridge. Well, Claude is more of like, yeah, you should have added some more color to that picture, son. You should have framed it, and you didn't autograph it either. So I would suggest that
yes.
you put your signature on it before you put it out there. That's kind of how Claude's been. And for me, I make a lot of presentations lately. I've been using Higgsfield AI, and Higgsfield
Oh
is pretty
yeah.
much a packaging platform for image generation, video generation, sound generation now. But it just helps with getting these images out to make my presentations a little more engaging. But the most ones that I will be using right now is Claude and Higgsfield.
I love it. I love it. We are in the same place. I've been hanging out with Claude for the last 2 weeks. I just got introduced to Higgs Field. So for those of y'all that aren't on it, that's Higgs, Higgs Field dot AI. Check it out. It's next level. It's new. It'll change your content. It's not Hicks, Hix. It's not like axe as opposed to ask. It's Higgs with two G's. Jump on it. Check it. Check it out. All right. Um, Winding down, getting ready to land the plane. We coming to Las Vegas Airport. We right at UNLV. We're gonna wrap it up, not far from the beautiful office studio you're in right now. I had a chance to hang out with you uh last year, 2024. I believe it was the last time I was there. I got to be there in person. Um, Fun stuff. I'm gonna say some one word things that you've been a part, your social medias that got you there, and I want you to react to it. Steve Madden.
Made fun of them and they sent me some free shoes.
That's where I need. And they didn't just send it to you. Who else did they send shoes to?
They sent two for me and two for my wife. So it worked out perfect.
Randall, if I could pull that off, I could extend another 40 years to my marriage. All right. You have something. We talked a lot about your best friend, Nick. My best friend, rest his soul, was an avid Raiders fan.
Oh man.
Shout out to Theo Ted Walker, avid Raiders fan.
Shout out
You
Theo.
share something with a lot of the audience. A lot of us love, I'm not going to call the Knicks losers. They just haven't won since 1973. That don't make them. A lot of us love those teams. How talk about what your content has allowed you to do with the Raiders right now?
It's been such a great opportunity. Just I'm really deep in with the Raider audience now. I had a podcast with them yesterday, and not with the actual Raider organization, but another group of influencers that have their own podcast. But it's connected me to a lot of different Raider fans. It's given me some great opportunities to meet some amazing Raiders. I got to meet Max Crosby last year at his draft party because I was partnered up with one of the top Raider influencers. And I met somebody who works for the Raiders last year at a game, and he said he saw my content. He told me to contact him. He wants to do some stuff with me this coming season. And I just have a feeling like if I continue this path, because it's also here in Vegas, and I just happen to love this team, it's going to open up some big doors for me, and it's something I already love, and I think that's the best part. Another side note for people watching: if you do something when you're doing your content, mix in something that you love, because it's just going to open up so many other doors, but it's also going to make it fun for you to where it don't burn you out. And I think my Raider content is the most fun I make, because I love football, I love my Raiders, and I love making content. So when you can combine all three, that's why I'm getting
That
these fruits right now.
that's a beautiful that's a beautiful combination. That's the number three combo pack.
Yeah.
Last question, and it's a wind down with Kev tradition. What are you drinking tonight? And what's one thing people would be surprised to know about you that has nothing to do with content or insurance?
What am I going to drink tonight? Tonight, it's probably just going to be some, I've been on poppies lately. I drink
Okay.
water all day, and I like to end the night with a little poppy. So I have a either cream soda or a wild berry poppy at the end of the night.
Okay. What is a poppy? Is poppy your word for soda?
It's the probiotic soda. It's a healthier soda. It's like 5 grams of sugar, 5 calories, or something like that. But it's just basically a healthier version, because I don't really
Uh,
drink sodas. But
okay. I,
go ahead, yeah.
no, 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 no. I don't drink soda either. So, and I never heard the word poppies, but in New York, we say soda. I lived in Chicago, they say pop. So when you said poppy, I knew it was a derivative of soda, but I didn't had no idea where you were going.
Yeah, it's a brand. It's POPPI, and
Okay.
they're pretty good, pretty good. But
Okay.
and then what was the second question you said?
The second part, uh, tell people one thing people be surprised to know about you that has nothing to do with content or insurance.
Hmm. That I love God. I
Amen.
try my best to. I mean, I'm one of those believers that I'm not gonna Bible thump you or throw scriptures at you. But if you know scripture, if you know the word, you're gonna see it through me. You're gonna see it through my actions. You're gonna see it through my character, and that's what I try to do, so that when people are ready to know, or they can smell it, and they ask me, I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna tell you exactly where all of this comes from, and where I give all the credit to, and who blessed me with these opportunities. So I'm big on faith. I wouldn't be here without it. I wouldn't be in this. I would be on this podcast with you without it, and I wouldn't have any of these opportunities without my relationship with God.
Amen. It would be easy for me to end right there as a fellow lover of the Lord, but I got to end on humor. Can you
Yeah.
please talk about the video where you said you did the video, a white church, and they're really getting it in? The subject line is, I didn't know y'all get down like that. What's the origin story of that video, and how can people find that on YouTube?
So the video that Kevin is referring to is my first time going to an all white church, and in my family thread, my family from Tennessee sent me this video of, it looks like what it's probably a Mormon church, and they were worshiping, but somebody put uh Chopper Style, the song from it's a hip hop song from the 2000s. They put Chopper Style over it, and it matched perfectly, and that's one of my favorite songs growing up. So when she sent me that, I said, "Oh my God, I got to put myself in this video, because if I was actually in there, I would be joining them." So the video starts off, and I'm just normally praising, worshiping, and then I look up and I see him getting down, and I'm like, "Oh, it's that type of party, okay?" So I was about to be finished with the video, and I went to go show Nick in the office because I filmed it here, and he was like, "Oh man, I was expecting you to hop in with him at the very end." I was like, "Oh my gosh, you are absolutely right." And I almost didn't put that part, and that's my favorite part, and that part has been the part that I think surprised everybody. And other than Blackfish Whitefish, to be surprised, this video has given me more followers on Instagram by itself in one video versus the Blackfish Whitefish the multiple times that I've posted it. It's what
Wow.
pushed me over to the 100K mark, was that video.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Randall, that is funny. Look it up. All that. Give me your closing comments. Tell people where they can find you. Let's add one or two more followers to that 100K and that 80 million. Tell people where they can find you at all over your social, and I'll have final comments.
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Randall Denson. YouTube is all that in Denson, but if you type Randall, it'll still come up. And yeah, just don't be scared to get in front of the camera, man. Just do your thing, be yourself, and you never know what opportunities can come your way.
Thank you, Randall. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love in the comments for Randall Denson. Follow him everywhere he's at. He's already someplace, but he is going bigger and better places. Randall Denson, all that in Denson.